Good evening. Coming up tonight.
We've got information on the shooting at the Park Place student residency.
Plus, an update on the construction on I-77 that might affect your commute.
And later, more on our women's basketball team and their move onto the Sweet 16.
But first, Nicole Smith is in the studio here with us now. Nicole, what weather can we expect to see this weekend?
We can be expecting to see some warmer weather this week. I'll have the weather forecast for this week and more to you tonight on SGTV Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Tyler Perrone.
And I'm Caroline Smith. Thanks for joining us tonight.
There was a shooting near a USC campus housing building early Sunday morning. The incident began with a fight inside Park Place, a campus residence building on the corner of Hugie and Blossom Streets.
The fight moved outside near the Park Place parking garage and shots were heard. USC students received a Carolina alert text at about 1 a.m. informing them of the incident.
According to the alert, the suspect opened fire at Park Place and ran north toward Green Crossing, a student apartment complex. No injuries have been reported.
USC campus police and Columbia Police Department are investigating the incident. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-CRIME-SC.
Earlier today, Governor Henry McMaster signed a bill that would bring the Scout Motors Company to South Carolina. House Bill 3604, also known as the Scout Bill, will bring the Volkswagen-owned manufacturer to Blywood, SC.
$1.3 billion in incentives for the company is included in the agreement. The bill includes funds for road construction, purchasing property, and the construction of new training center at Midlands Technical College for potential Scout Motors employees.
This development should bring over 4,000 new jobs to Richland County while producing 200,000 electric vehicles. McMaster thinks the deal is well worth the money spent on incentives.
He says, quote, South Carolina has worked hard to build a global reputation as a leader in automotive manufacturing. By adding Scout Motors, we further bolster this reputation and demonstrate that South Carolina has all the components in place for companies to achieve long-term generational success, end quote.
South Carolina's Department of Transportation plans to begin construction on a section of I-77 later this week. The highway will close at the intersection of I-26 and Bluff Road starting on Friday, March 24th at 9 p.m.
SC Department of Transportation says construction should take 9 days, weather permitting, and that commuters should plan their detours as soon as possible.
Drivers will have to follow detour signs for 20 miles across various interstates and state highways rather than taking their normal route.
The project closes only the northbound lanes to lay new concrete on the bridges between mile markers 0 and 5. Southbound lanes will also close for renovation following the completion of the northbound section.
Student Body President Reedy Newton gave a final address as her term comes to an end. On March 16th, Newton gave a State of the Student Body address on the Russell House patio, where she shared the accomplishments of her administration.
SGTV News reporter CJ Rosenberger attended the address. Let's take a look.
Former Student Body President Reedy Newton gave her last Student Body address tonight on the Russell House patio in a considerate and memorable way of passing the torch to her successor, Emmy Thompson. Newton expressed her excitement in the potential of the freshman class, told stories of some shared memories of her fellow seniors, and claimed she took pride in her time in office.
I am extremely proud of the work done by us in our administration and student government in my time as student body president. Through that very long State of the Student Body, I was able to just scratch the surface on some of the many projects that we were able to do. We set out with a goal and a vision to serve this term, and the many passion projects that we had, we accomplished, and we made small tangible changes that impact the lives of everyday students. And so I'll be forever grateful for the opportunity to serve and for the projects that we've worked on this year.
Newton also recognized her fellow students as, quote, the motivation behind every project that we pursue, end quote. Newton claims that she is confident in having Emmy Thompson as her successor. For SGTV News 4, I'm CJ Rosenberger.
Thanks, CJ, and thank you, Reedy Newton, for your service as our student body president this past year.
Yeah, it's always good to see that a student body president is confident in the new one. I'm glad that she has such love for Emmy Thompson, as she said various times. And coming up after the break, the latest in Gamecock sports. Stay close.
SGTV News 4 sports reporter Spencer Ball has the scoop. What have you got for us tonight, Spencer?
Gamecock women's basketball moves on to the Sweet 16 for the 9th straight season after defeating the University of South Florida Bulls 76-45. After going into halftime only up 4 points, the Gamecocks turned up the defensive intensity and got the electric crowd involved in the second half. Zia Cook was the game's leading scorer with 21 points, and the Gamecocks would outscore the Bulls 43-16 in the second half. Aaliyah Boston put up yet another double-double as she had 11 points and 11 rebounds in the second round victory. The Gamecocks await the winner of Oklahoma and UCLA, which will tip off tonight at 10 p.m. on ESPN2. Gamecock baseball opened up SEC play with a series against the Bulldogs of Georgia this weekend. The Gamecocks entered the game red hot, and they leave the Peach State 3-0 in conference play as they swept UGA. Game 1 of Saturday's doubleheader was the only game in the series that was close, as the Gamecocks needed a 9th-inning rally to take the victory. Sophomore Michael Braswell checked into the game in the top of the 9th as a pinch hitter. Facing a 1-2 count, Braswell drilled a pitch into right field, scoring both runners and giving the Gamecocks a 5-4 lead that they would hold on to in the bottom of the 9th. After that game, the Carolina offense truly got going as Ethan Petrie went 4 for 4 with 5 RBIs and 2 home runs to lead the scoring attack. They would go on to win the game 12-2 in only 7 innings as Noah Hall pitched a complete game to keep the Bulldogs at bay. Sunday's game was more of the same as both Will McGillis and Gavin Costas each hit 2 home runs. Jack Mahoney secured his 3rd win of the season as the Gamecocks would take the 3rd and final game 12-1 in 7 innings of play. Gamecock baseball is back in action tomorrow night at 6 p.m. in Charlotte to take on the 49ers.
Thanks, Spencer. Coming up after the break, News 4 entertainment reporter Rachel Carter will lay down the talk of the town. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Joining me now is entertainment reporter Rachel Carter to fill us in on what's happening in Columbia this weekend. What do you have for us, Rachel?
The University of South Carolina Symphony Orchestra is presenting its performance of Rising Stars, one of the orchestra's 6 yearly concerts. The performance will be held this Tuesday, March 21st, and feature over 100 student musicians, conducted by the Director of Orchestras, Scott Wise. The concert will be held at the Koger Center for the Arts and feature 3 winners of the 2022 Concerto Ario competition: pianist Youngton Shin, clarinetist Carmen Borgels, and bassoonist Aaron Neely. Tickets are $30 for the general public and free to USC students with valid ID. These tickets can be picked up from the Koger Center box office or in the lobby prior to the performance. So I love musical performances. I've said this on here a few times, but I used to play the flute before. Was never any good, so I can appreciate when people actually sound good playing instruments. I love tuning into that.
I love anything that supports student musicians,
Yes.
especially here on our campus. It's so wonderful to see students playing in a venue as important as the Koger Center.
Yes, and especially since students can attend for free. It's a great opportunity.
It's wonderful.
In other news, the 2nd annual BrickCon, a LEGO fan event, is coming to Columbia this Saturday, March 25th. The convention will feature various displays of LEGO creations, and a vendor will be on site selling LEGO bricks, collectibles, and other merchandise. This event is one of 4 conventions presented across the state by the SC Bricks fan group and will be held at 901 Brookwood Drive. Festivities begin at 9 a.m. and last until 5 p.m. Tickets are free and can be acquired at columbiabrickcon.eventbrite.com. Donations will be accepted at the door and given to local children's charities. So this is another cool event. It's free, but as I just said, you can make a donation, which is a great cause, children's charities within the area. So
Yeah, it's a fantastic cause and for such a fun reason. Like, I don't know about you, but I like Legos. You never outgrow them.
I know, like my brother growing up, he always played with them. So I definitely can see just how much people love them.
Absolutely.
That's all your entertainment news for tonight. Coming up after the break, Nicole Smith will let you know if this cold weather sticks around. We'll be right back.
Well, Welcome back, everyone. I'm Nicole Smith. Here's your look at tonight's forecast. Tonight's temperatures are going to be hitting us at 33 degrees with those winds going 4 miles per hour and that humidity at 52%. Now we should be having our sunset here soon at 7:36 p.m. So make sure you get out and catch that beautiful, beautiful sunset. Now let's take a look at what tomorrow's outline is going to be looking like. Here in the morning, we're going to have some temperatures of 66 degrees. And as we move into the evening, we're going to hit 43. Now we should have some mostly sunny skies, but in the evening, we will have those partly cloudy skies. Now let's take a look at what the whole week is going to be looking like. As you can see, we are having some warmer temperatures with those high 50s to those high 80s hitting us here on Friday at 87. And as we move into the afternoon, we are going to have some colder temperatures here tonight hitting 33. But throughout the week, we are going to get a bit warmer with those low 40s to those mid 60s. Here on Friday again hitting 64. Now as you can see, we are going to have some sun peeking on through with those completely sunny days here on Monday and Friday. But here on Saturday we are going to have some rain, so make sure you grab those umbrellas and you're prepared for that. That's all I have for tonight. After the break, we'll have tonight's edition of Carolina Canines. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
And finally, tonight's Carolina Canine features Walter.
Walter was submitted by our very own producer, Alex Tetor. Walt is a 3-year-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
In his free time, you can find Walt playing fetch or following his mama. I love a dog who plays fetch well.
And I love a dog who follows his mama, just like how Alex Tetor follows my mother on Instagram. Incredible producer.
That wraps up tonight's edition of Student News at 7.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For SGTV News 4, I'm Caroline Smith.
And I'm Tyler Perrone. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina. Forever to thee.